and welcome back to Defusing Anxiety, a series of clips about making it so that anxiety doesn't mess around with your life. In the last two clips, we talked about different ways of changing our body responses to anxiety, including relaxation techniques, anchoring, and self-soothing. These are all ways of winding down the effect of anxiety on your body and on your mind. Remember that we aren't trying to get rid of anxiety, because anxiety is actually helpful to us. What we are trying to do is stop it from winding up to the point where it becomes an obstacle. Now let's change our focus to more at how our mind can keep anxiety as a friend rather than an obstacle. In this clip, I want to talk about mindfulness. When you mention mindfulness, people often think about meditation, but mindfulness is about living in the present rather than the past or the future. It is often said that the past is history, the future is a mystery, and all we have is now. It is also often said that you create a good future by creating a good present. Mindfulness is about living what you experience without winding yourself up with judgments about it. Of course, we make judgments all the time to help us make good decisions, but often getting emotionally invested in these judgments isn't helpful. Believe it or not, you can change how you respond to things that happen to you, and often accepting that right now, this is how it is, and things can and will change is more powerful than outrage about it. Being more in the present is a great antidote for one of the biggest traps of people with anxiety and depression, rumination. Rumination is thinking about the same things over and over. We often think that rumination will help us to make better judgments, but typically it doesn't. Staying mindful and in the present isn't easy. So let's look at some ways of helping to develop this ability. I'll describe a mindfulness exercise you can practice, and then some everyday mindfulness activities that help unwind anxiety. The exercise is called the inner-outer shuttle. In this, you shift your attention from inside to outside you. To do this, you close your eyes and take a deep breath to the bottom of your lungs. Now notice any sensations inside your body, any areas of calm or tension, other physical sensations, and your thoughts. Just notice, don't judge or think about what they mean. Then after a minute or two, open your eyes and notice everything you can see around you. Then notice everything you can hear around you. Also noticing anything you can smell, taste, or feel outside of yourself. After a minute or two, close your eyes again and repeat the cycle of focusing inside, then focusing outside. After you have done this a second time, think about what you have noticed while doing this. Building mindfulness into everyday activities is very helpful. Here's just a couple of examples. One is mindful eating. We often eat without paying attention. Take a small piece of food, like a raisin or a tiny piece of fruit, and just look at it. Hold it, look at it carefully, noticing every detail. Smell it. Now put it in your mouth. And without biting, notice how it feels in your mouth. Focus on its taste and notice anything else. Now slowly bite it and notice all the sensations as you do. Chew slowly and keep your awareness on the experience. You can also mindfully eat whole meals, focusing on what you are eating rather than distracting yourself by doing other things. Another way is mindful emotions. This involves being aware of your emotions, but not getting caught up in them either by building more emotions on top of them or by following the story and the urges they create. To do this, when you experience a strong emotion like anxiety or anger, just acknowledge and label the emotion. For instance, by saying, "I am feeling anxious." Notice how strong it is and if there are any other emotions linked with it. Do your abdominal breathing. Hold the emotion. Don't try to push it away, but don't build a story around it. People often say, invite it for a cup of tea, but don't ask it to stay. Emotions often pass quite quickly when held like this. It would be great if you could practice these techniques, like the inner-outer shuffle, mindful eating, and mindful emotions, several times before you go on to the next clip. Also, there are many apps and websites with all sorts of mindfulness techniques that you can try. Different ones will be helpful for different people at different times, so just explore if you want to. Remember back a few clips I talked about how the thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and body responses all drive each other to create vicious cycles that wind up emotions like anxiety. Winding down anxiety often involves making this vicious cycle a victorious cycle by changing our thoughts, behaviors, and body responses. So far, we have looked at changing our body responses and also considered how mindfulness allows us to take a different focus on our experience, which can help us to defuse the anxiety. The next few clips will look more closely at changing your thoughts to wind down anxiety. See you next time.